Hello there, my name is Olga, or Ola, or Oleg, Olinga, so depending on what you prefer. We are here in the USA, the new immigrants, so this video is gonna be about many things. I'm multitasking today, so I'm gonna cook borscht, and at the same time I want to share my thoughts about what I think about the job situation in the USA. Okay, so first the ingredients for borscht and then all my thoughts. Normally it takes me about 30 minutes to prepare to cook borscht, so but with the video might be longer because I will need to move camera and so on. Will be distracted a little bit more, but we'll see. So the main ingredient is, it's not ingredient, it's our accessories. So the main ingredient is a beets or beetroot. That one is kind of big, especially for this portion of borscht. But I know if I cut it into halves, I will just put the other half into the fridge and it will die. I don't like throwing food away, so I'm just gonna grate all of it. And my borscht will be a little bit more red than normally. More red, grammatically improper. But okay, it will be more saturated and at the same time maybe sweeter than normally. So technically I could add some sour cabbage, so I'm gonna use this fresh cabbage, but at the same time we can use sour like pickled, I will write it down here, pickled cabbage, or just put some lemon juice in it, but depends. Actually I'm not going to do that, so I'm just gonna use the sweetened type of borscht. Then I will use 3 potatoes for this portion, again for that portion of might be too much. I will just start with 2 and then I will see how much I will need. Maybe I will add the third one. It depends on how dense you prefer your soup to be. And then, as I told, cabbage. That's just the piece which I cut off. Then the onion, I will use the half of it. I will use half of it and half will be just eaten with the soup. Next, carrots. I use little carrots because I have them. You can use normal ones. Again, 1 carrot will be enough. I mean the 1 big carrot or middle-sized carrot, again depending on your taste preferences. Then we're gonna need some tomato sauce. I don't have one, so I got something chunky salsa because we opened it quite a while ago. It's still alive, but I don't want to get dead, spoiled. So before it got spoiled, I'm using it in my soup. And then I like using beans. I forgot to prepare them in advance because I normally just boil them in the evening, so that by the morning time they would have been already softened. So I didn't do that, so I'm gonna use the canned. And again, meat. You can use beef, you can use beef or pork, maybe chicken, maybe without meat, depending. My mom likes using beef on the bone because it gives more saturated bouillon to your soup. So let's start. What do we start with? With peeling potato. Where is my accessory? Dog. Okay. My story with, we came to the USA using the immigrational visa, EB3, that's visa for workers. So when you get the invitation from a plant, for example, in our situation it was manufacturing, production plant, and they invite you, or they invite one of the members of the family and organize them labor certificate. And after waiting for this visa for 5 years, we came to the USA a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago. And if you don't know about EB3 visa, how to say, our employer, our potential employer provided my husband with the job
and my husband was supposed to work there for a year as an unskilled worker at the manufacturing, right? So, and after this period, we got our green cards. So now we are green card holders. Now we are green card holders or permanent residents in the USA, right? So, and after 5 years, we can apply for the citizenship. So what's the trick? After coming here, a lot of people who are new immigrants, they either know English and they can speak proper English or not. So depending on this, they can come here having the higher education or maybe not having. Most of people who immigrate probably have some education. I mean, most people from, I don't want to say Russia, but post-Soviet territory, because immigration is a very expensive process, and to get to another country, you need a lot of money. And people without education, without proper background, they probably even don't have money. They don't have any support, like any background necessary for them to move, to relocate. In our situation, that's like similar, the same. I've been working not as an interpreter. I have a diploma, bachelor degree in linguistics and translation, but I don't really see how I can implement my knowledge and skills here. And I haven't been really working in the sphere of translation ever, only the beginning somewhere. For the last 7 years, I've been teaching English. I had been teaching English because I stopped after coming here. And the thing is that when you come to the USA, you need to start all over. All your career starts from the beginning. And we started it here from unskilled positions workers, because again, I cannot keep teaching here because I need a certification in the US. I don't have it, and to prove my diploma, I need to have it evaluated. I did it, but again, my diploma doesn't give me permission to teach because it's linguistics and translation diploma. I'm a translator, not a teacher. So even if I want to go to teaching career, I need to take college classes, and it will take time, resources, like money. Even I know I can get some foundation. I can get some support, but it takes time, you know. And so what's the other way? So as we just started with unskilled positions. For the first 7 months living here, I worked in the manufacturing as a packing worker. So there were filters and we packed them into boxes. Why I chose this? Again, I was quite limited in the choice of jobs which I could take with my inability to drive. Because living somewhere else, not in the USA, usually doesn't require you to have a skill of driving the car. I've never driven my car before. Never. No, not even my car. I've never driven any cars before coming here. I had never driven. And I didn't need it. Public transport. When you come to the bus stop, wait for 5 minutes somewhere, and then on the bus stop, at the bus stop, and then you can get your bus, get in, take a seat, take a book, read a book while riding somewhere, and then just arrive, go where you need. You don't need to park, you don't need to spend money on the car, and so on, so on. So when there is a public transportation developed well enough, you don't need a car. Here in the US, we encountered the situation that you cannot get anywhere if you don't have a car, like anywhere. My first, so I finished peeling potato. Theoretically, I need to cut them, but I need to wash them as well. Beetroot will be later. I will keep with cutting cabbage. So, my first step was to find a job, and I just needed to find it as quickly as I could, because you know we came with a limited amount of money, and it's really expensive over here. My previous salary back there in Russia was about $1,200 per month, because I was giving lessons, private lessons mostly, group lessons sometimes, mostly private lessons online, and it's, you know, it's good salary. Because not many people. I mean, it's not Moscow type salary, but for many people around Russia, that is a very good amount, especially in education sphere. So after coming here, we didn't have much money saved. Of course, you understand. I mean, we had, but it's not enough money for living in the US. So we needed to find a job as quickly as possible. That's a sad leaf. I will throw it away. So what did we do? We were applying everywhere, and for the first 7 months, I worked at this manufacturer because I found this job quite fast, as I understand now. I found it within the first month, and within, like, when did I start? I started working at the end of February, and we arrived to the USA in January 11th, while we were waiting for social security cards, opening bank accounts, and so on, looking for apartments. So that's all the first month of troubles. We actually found an apartment and rented an apartment somewhere at the end of January. And by the 20th of February, by February the 20th, I've already started working. And so, what kind of job did I have? I had the basic unskilled position for, as I said, packing these filters. So they're a line, manufacturer line. There's some stuff does go past you. You catch it, you put it in a box, put it back on the line, on the conveyor line. Absolutely. Like the stupidest work ever, because that's the type of job where you never need to use any of your brains. Like absolutely mechanical job. Not really physically exhausting, quite simple, but when you do it for 12 hours a day, and especially some days you cannot even sit, you need to stay for some time, so sometimes you sit, we could sit. Some days and some positions at the same manufacturer, you cannot even sit, so you need to stay, and staying for 12 hours. I don't understand why they make people stay, because all this job could have been easily done just sitting. You don't need to stay. Like I could have been cooking staying, but I don't see the point why. I can sit absolutely nicely. Oh, I have a plate. So, what did I do here? I cut my cabbage. You can actually grate it if you like it smaller. I cut it quite into small pieces. I don't know, small enough to me. What's next? So what I noticed, people work there, and I had been working because I don't work there anymore. Normally 40 hours. We had 4 normal working days. So it was 4 working days, 48 hours, which is, you understand, overtime. And then there was an extra day on Friday where they invited volunteers who wanted to make more money. So I did volunteer job at the same time because we needed money, and I didn't see any, like, I wasn't really thinking about future possibilities for the first year. I was just thinking like, okay, we're gonna make money, we're gonna save more money for the first payment to buy the house. It's gonna be all right. And then I needed to make more money to buy a car. Just to start looking for another job, I needed a car. So that was my first purpose, to make more money, as much money as possible. So I worked 5 days a week. It was about 48 plus 10, 58 hours a week. Like every second week, because one week I work 48, the next 58, because it's too exhausting, you know. I understand that I don't want to kill myself with this work. Why is it killing myself? Because we work at manufacturing. It's not, even when it's not exhausting, the job is simple, but at the same time there are chemicals around, there is dust, a lot of dust. I could understand that all this dust and dirt is not only on my clothes, but it's inside me. I didn't get sick at the time, but I could understand that if people work longer time in these conditions, it might affect health. And I saw people eating their pills. No, I don't see that happening to me. Okay, so after 7 months, or maybe after 6 months, they cut our hours because there was some kind of crisis, there was strikes. That was last year, right? A lot of manufacturers and car manufacturers started their strikes. There, a cabbage. Because they needed more money to increase their payments, and that affected our job as well because of the strikes. Our manufacturing plant didn't have as much orders to be packed, so we didn't have as much job now, and they cut our hours. So instead of 50 working hours, I could make only 36, so 3 working days, and sometimes they even let us go and have fun even shorter. So like after 30 hours work, they could say, sorry, there is no job for you today, guys, goodbye, enjoy the day, come again on Monday. Like, okay, and then I didn't see that the situation is going to be improved, and I actually got my driver license. I passed the test, the driving test, the computer test, everything. Then we bought a car, and it was already October last year, and I started looking for another job. So I finished this and this, and the next job which I had was what I want to start with. Yeah, right. Okay, so by now I need to start boiling this because I've already cut them. So that will be stewed, and that is gonna be boiled. So let's go put it into the. Okay, that's good. I will wash my potato and we'll be back. While I was washing my potato, I remembered another fact. Fun fact. So before coming to the US, I actually watched some videos and I saw that there is a way of going into teaching career. So theoretically, as I saw there, I could have applied for the position of teacher assistant, which didn't require, even doesn't require now, any certification. It didn't even require a bachelor degree. You can just finish school and apply for this position. And after working as a teacher assistant, you already can figure out how you like it, then apply for college, and sometimes it's even possible that there will be assistant program for you to pay for the college to get the teacher certification and degree in this. And then I could have continued this way. So that was my pre-plan before I come into the US. But after coming here, I find out I actually visited a lot of job fair, hiring events, and so on. Not just found this job at the plant and started working right away. I was trying to find the way into teaching, but so I just applied there, and after some time, like by September, by the fall, I figured out that they are not really hiring teacher assistants. There are positions online on the internet, like yes, the schools are looking, but there is a position, but they never hire for it. So maybe that's the problem of funding. Maybe, I don't know really what. Actually, I even talked to some ladies who used to work. I'm very talkative, you understand? So where I meet people, I communicate to them and I share my troubles. I understand that as long as I share my troubles, somebody will see the way out. Maybe I don't just see it, maybe. So I just really shared my situation, what I was going to do, and so on, what troubles I had. And there really was one lady who used to be a teacher, and she told me that she quit teaching because it was more difficult for her for the last years when she worked, because they really eliminated the position of teacher assistant. So all the job which she used to do with the help of a teacher assistant, she had to do without them in the end of her career, and that's why she quit it, because it was physically too hard for her. She was an elderly lady. And so after this I started looking for other positions. So I found a position in the press school, again the teacher assistant, and I don't know how I learned about it. So I learned that, again, working as a teacher assistant, I don't need certification, but after working for 6 months as a teacher assistant in a press school, I could apply or earn teacher certification, again, for working in the press. I dropped it on the grass, still washable. And so I could earn the teacher certification for working in preschool system. And again, after working for 2 years in the preschool would pay for my education. So that was kind of a way. So, and because working in a manufacturing looked like a dead end, because you just keep working, and people who worked in this manufacturing where I worked were working there for 20, 30 years on the same position, like packing the stuff. I don't see myself doing one boring thing for many years, and that's boring. That's really, okay. I don't understand how people do it. So they just keep doing the same thing monotonously, day by day, 30 years. Oh my, more than 30 years, because they really were celebrating some anniversaries for people who were working there at the same plant, at the same stupid broken chair for 30 years. Oh my. That's not my way. That's what I am trying to find. So it's probably too much of potato. No, okay, we'll see. Where was I? So I applied for this preschool position in Lake Wylie. The thing is that working with children is a very strange job. Somebody's calling me. Okay, as long as I'm done with cutting my potatoes, and what did I cut before? Cabbage. I'm gonna put them into boiling water because it's already boiling in there. So let's go inside and keep boiling our soup. So I've already got the water boiling in here, and what I'm doing, I got to finish up cutting my potatoes. The potato. Again, cutting potatoes, I prefer them to be small. Some people cut really into big pieces. That's already your personal preferences. Whatever you prefer. To me, small is easier. It cooks faster, and it's easier to eat. I do wash it, actually. Wow, that's a piece on this thing. That's the amount of potato which I got here, if you like it or not. And maybe that's too much. There we go. Theoretically, it's a good idea to give it some time and then add cabbage, because cabbage was softer and it gets cooked faster than what? than potato. So we're gonna put it aside for a little while, and after potato will start boiling, we will add. No, after potato starts boiling, we will add cabbage. It will take us like 5 minutes before it starts boiling. So now I will reduce the fire, the heat, that I had enough time for grating cabbage, not cabbage, for grating carrots, for grating carrots and onion. So let's go. Where is my? I will still need a knife. So what's my first observation here? That a lot of people, they after finishing school, they just start working in some unskilled positions, like the one which I took, and they just keep doing it for many, many years, probably until they die. I don't know. It's sad, actually. I'm laughing, but it's really sad. I understand that people in Russia do the same too, but I mean, yeah, there are people who do the same. So there is probably a layer of human beings who are I don't know, really. It makes me think about people differently, because before I never ever been in touch with people who didn't have education, who didn't really go any further in their career. It was strange, and now it's strange to see if people who just even haven't finished school. Because a lot of people, they just told me that they failed their English exam, that they never even got the degree, the like high school diploma. So that's new experience in my life. As I told you, I'm cutting onions, so I took half of the onion there. The other half is still here, so I'm just cutting this onion. I try to make it smaller. Oh, I don't need a great right. So the way is, as I see the future way is, you either keep going and working at manufacturing. Theoretically, you can earn a degree or go to college and get some degree in production sphere. I don't say engineering, but there are some ways. As I saw, the same at the manufacturing plant, there were people who started as like regular associates, and then they became, I wouldn't say not leaders, but team lead, yeah, actually leaders. The team lead, the main person in the line, so their salary is already big, and you don't really need to work for 50 years at one plant, because there was a girl who was like 20 and she was the line leader, so you can take this position within maybe 2 years after working at the plant. You just need to be, I don't know what skills you need. I didn't see any special skills at her. It's just, again, her ability to control people and her ability to work hard, maybe. Or just maybe her wish to be in this position, because it takes a lot of nerves. Our next step is beetroot. People boil them. I prefer to cut it, actually grate, and then stew, because this way, when it stews, in the tomato paste. I use tomato paste, but at the same time you can use like regular tomatoes. Regular tomatoes, you can cut them into this stew. Yeah, stew. Let it be called stew. There will be onions in my situation, carrots, and the beets, and the tomato soup. Tomato paste. So, as I see that the other way to go from the position was to go into school. I went to this press school center and started working there as a teacher assistant. Because together with working, you get some courses, we got some webinars and then tests. So after working I've been working there for 4 months, but as I learned after 6 months of working, because I've already got some hours of education, and with all these working hours, there would be a certificate ready for me in South Carolina, because I worked in South Carolina, that I am ready to work as a teacher in press school there. But I didn't get it, because after 4 months I realized that I really, again, cannot do it in press school. There was too much. I mean, the job itself is fun. It's physically hard and challenging, but it's not that difficult. The difficult part for me was being ill all the time. So 4 months without any weekend where I couldn't feel that I am absolutely healthy, because I had temperature all the time. Not like some high temperature, but the temperature which is already like exhausting you. I couldn't, it's like 99 Fahrenheit. Sometimes 99, sometimes 102. Which is already high for me. I mean, I could feel well, quite well, but I understand that I was contagious with something, because parents brought their children to press school in any condition. They could obviously see that the child isn't healthy, that the child is not healthy, is not happy, and these days were crazy and horrible for us and for children. That's bad about the system here, that parents cannot take day off because of their child's health conditions. Because theoretically they could have just stayed at home for a couple of days. That's what I did with my sons. to stay at home for a couple of days, give the child some little time to recover, because being in the group with other children, it's stressful, because we didn't have any conditions for them to lay down, to relax, because if the child is ill, they need to drink more, they need just to relax more, but we were just jumping, singing, doing some activities like reading books. Yes, we were doing some other different activities, but they are all very active and emotionally hard. There were, I'm trying to remember, 15 children, 15, 19. Our maximum was about 20 children in the classroom. That's a lot. I mean, a lot if you are ill, if you have temperature and you need some calm and patient atmosphere around you. It's emotionally very difficult. And that's there, but like babies, 2-year-old, 3-year-old babies, I don't know. So that's bad about this system. Why did I quit? So I quit because I didn't want to be anybody's death on my responsibilities. Because again, there was a situation when the child was really sick. We checked his temperature because he was normally a very active and positive boy. And this day he was really like laying down, sobbing all the time, hugging us, and he didn't feel well. So we checked his temperature. It was 102, and the other teachers said that we normally contact parents after the temperature is 104. I said 4? Okay, for me these numbers just are numbers, because I normally use Celsius in my head. So for me 37.7 Celsius is already ill. So when my children are 37.7, they do not go to school, because that's ill. Transfer it into your Fahrenheit yourself, Google. So, and these children were obviously ill in all the systems. And when the child is about 2-3 years old and they have temperature, whatever disease they have inside, it's unpredictable, because if it's something serious, we don't really know what's the cause of the temperature. So that can develop really fast. So within 2 hours, this temperature may cause death, without kidding, because you don't know what's the cause of the temperature. And if they got something somewhere, we don't know what they were doing during the weekend when they bring them. So, and the other day, like maybe a week later, maybe 2, not important, there was the other child who his mom just brought him because he had temperature, and she physically brought him because he couldn't walk. And he was sitting in the corner on the floor like a couple hours. Then we went outside because it was nice weather actually. It was warm outside. They were wearing shorts by that time. Really good weather. So it would have been great for him to stay outside and enjoy it. So we brought the chair outside because he was really weak. After that he started throwing up. So she took him back home, and the next day she brought him back. The boy is recovered already. All I could say, this poor babies, your parents love you. I still believe in that. I stayed with my sons until they were 3. After they were 2.5, 3, they went to preschool. And again, they went for 4 hours, for 2 hours, then 3-4 hours the first month. That's adaptation period. And here in the US, they just bring the baby right away, and the baby stays in the preschool for 12 hours. It's emotionally hard for an adult. And for a 2-year-old baby, that's too much. Red hands. It's not love, I eat more of the carrot than grated. So that was the reason when I realized that whatever they do, the responsibility will be on us, because we are teachers, and I don't know how that is being dealt with in this system. So I'm not going to be responsible for anybody's health issues. And I started spreading my resumes everywhere, not just looking for any skill or whatever positions, anywhere. So restaurants, which I didn't consider before, but even that's how I started working in Walmart. After 1 month of spreading resumes,
spreading like 10 resumes a day. It's not much, but I did it during my lunch break. So that was my working strategy. 10 resumes a day to the positions which I physically could take and which were in my area. Not much driving, like no longer than 20 minutes driving around. That's how I did it. So I ended up in Walmart. Not ended up, I'm still working on it. And I started as a cashier. I had one job interview, the job interview which lasted about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. We just talked to my couch at the time, and I was hired. That's it. Quite easy. You apply on the Walmart website, and then they just invited me out of nowhere. I don't know how the system works. They say that there are some tests which you complete while applying, and maybe the results of these tests show them people who they want to hire and show them people they don't want to hire at all. So I really don't know how this system works. Yeah. Okay, but it's ready. Oh, we need to put cabbage into boiling water. Because it's been sitting there for a while. Let's put it in. It's not a attack, so it hasn't started boiling actually, because I really slow down the fire. So what we're gonna do here, just add this cabbage into water. Alright, so the job in Walmart is again absolutely the same. It's absolutely no brain work. I mean, there is comparatively nothing. There is no brain work. I was working as a cashier, now I'm a self-checkout. Theoretically, I learned a lot of stuff, like how the cash register works. There are some technical issues with them. There are many technical issues with them. And you learn how different ways of payment work together. Then there are there are some things which you learn really for the first 2 weeks, and then there is nothing new. It's kind of boring, typical, all the same, non-working. The only thing that just people come here, there, talk to people, so that's fun. The positive thing about Walmart is that they pay for your education. After working there for 3 months, for 90 days period, I was hired officially, so I got the email. As I understand that it's quite, how to say, automatical process. I just got an email telling me that there are options for me, or open window for me to get the insurance, health insurance, and later I just talked to some guys over there who worked also, and one guy told me that there is possibility to apply for a college. Guild, as I remember, yeah, Guild. I don't know what Guild is, like association, and they become sponsors, so they kind of help you, or pay absolutely. They really don't know how the system works. So there is a Live Better You program in Walmart. So going through my Walmart application, I went to Live Better You section, and then I applied for this Guild association to get the education there, college degree. There weren't many options at the time. In August, yeah, I started in August. There were maybe like 3-4 positions, but they were filled. So there was data analyst course, there was marketing course, there were some more courses. I didn't really read all of them properly because I see that they are filled, and there were only 2 of them available for application, and I applied. So I applied to marketing in Arkansas University. They accepted me. I uploaded my diploma, so that's not diploma, evaluation of my diploma, so that's in English. They can see it. They can see that I have bachelor degree in linguistics and language study, German, English, Russian. And what happened later? So later, I needed to start communication with Arkansas University and complete my application there on their website. And there I encountered some difficulties because in the automatic system which they have, I needed to choose the school where I studied before, the high school, college, and so on and so on. And they don't have Kazakhstan in the list. There is only American schools and Canadian and some other strange countries, really, which were surprising to me. So while I was listing, there was nothing like Kazakhstan or Russia. There was, I'm like, Sri Lanka. Like, why there is Sri Lanka, but there is no Cambodia or Kazakhstan? Or maybe there was even Cambodia, but there was no Kazakhstan on the list. I finished school in Kazakhstan. So I couldn't really put or choose from the falling scrolling list the name of my school. I don't remember what I did. Either I chose just random school, or I tried to add my school into the system. I really don't know. So something didn't work out and I couldn't finish my application. So I couldn't find my university where I studied in Russia, and I couldn't find my school. So the problem that this application form didn't go through because of these two steps. I did everything according to instruction, but it didn't go through. So I addressed this problem to the technical support. Technical support sent me to some other department. This other department sent me to another department. So they kept sending me from one department to another. Like after a while, I wasn't really sure that I want to study marketing at all. I just picked it because there was no other options. And then I just decided to look at something different. And then I actually was out of time because they already started the course. So my application just got frozen because I only could apply now for the next year, for February. And I said, alrighty. And I moved to another program. So I just chose the other program. Project manager. Yeah, project manager certification, which I'm now studying in. The thing is that I even just picked their schools from the list. I didn't even try to upload my certification, my previous diplomas and so on. So I didn't even mention that I studied somewhere else, not in Canada or USA. I don't know how it will work out later, but the system is broken at this point. So that's my plan for the future. I'm gonna study, work and study, work and study, work and study, and keep grading. See, that's a lot of beats. All right, so let's keep making our borscht. See, that's what it looks like. Really bright. You can apply it on your cheeks and look healthy. Oh, yeah, and what I noticed personally in Walmart, that there are many people, again, younger age and elder, who just have 2-3 jobs. I mean, mostly 2. So they just work in Walmart part-time, and then in the morning time they also just go to work, the same unskilled position. So that's their all their life. So they just keep working like 50 hours a week. They have 2 days off. Well, technically, why not? Why not? It's a way. You live, you have everything you need. It's enough. For many people, it's enough. They cover their basic needs. They cover maybe some pleasure needs which they have, but nothing like extra. Why not? It's just kind of boring. Looks boring. But there are people who do study. There were a lot of people working in the summertime, and now they're gone because they went to college and they cannot combine college studying and working at the same time. Maybe because the college is somewhere remote from here. And they just moved away. Alright, let's see how it's going. I'm almost done with this thing. And let's move to the next part. Alright, so now we've got 2 processes simultaneously. What we have the boiling soup in here. Okay, boiling. I'll move it a little bit. For people who skipped the beginning, there is potato, a little bit meat, and cabbage boiling inside. So now we've got the onion. Well, theoretically, it's a good idea first to put some oil. I normally use vegetable oil or sunflower oil, whichever I have. Theoretically, the ideal way is to preheat the frying pan or saucer pan, whatever you call it, and then preheat it, put some oil, then put in some chopped onions. Some people do like frying it so that it will just be golden color. I don't care about the color because it's gonna be red anyway, because there will be a lot of it. So I will just fry it a little bit, give it some time. While I was cooking the previous step, so I got my stove a little bit dirty, so I'm gonna clean it up and then add what I add. I will add my beets and carrot. So there is carrot and beets grated, so I'm gonna add them to onion and add whatever. What do I have? I have some salsas. Oh wow, salsa. Oh, that's tomato paste. I'm gonna add it. And also, as I told at the beginning, I like using beans. I haven't boiled them in advance, so I'm gonna just open. I have a can opener. So how do we do that? You just click it. Yeah, okay, it's going through now. Hopefully, if you can see it or not. So I'm gonna hold it and then just move it, and it gets open. Yeah. Just be careful because it will start spitting water out, which is it already trying to do. Okay, got it. Ready. There we go. There, I have the tissue. I don't use paper towels. I use a tissue. I bought it a year ago. I do laundry with it. Wash it and then use it again. Так, so. I have these beans. Open them. Don't touch the lid because it might be sharp. Yeah. I could have used half of the can, but again there will be the other half which will go into waste if I don't use it, and I know that I will not use it in the nearest several days, and then it will go into waste. That's why I just put everything in. Alright, so now our onion is already kind of ready. Let's see. It's on our onion. Theoretically, for the beets, some people add more oil, and that's gonna be a mistake, because if you want your borscht to be saturated, you don't want to beets be in contact with the oil. So now we're gonna add some water, or in my situation I'm gonna add the salsa sauce. So I'm gonna add it here. I'm gonna choose some water too, so I will just wash it in. There we go. And as I told you before, I already think that it might be going bad by now with salsa sauce, so that's why I'm gonna use it in a stew. So I can wait for it to be what? Under temperature. And now I'm adding beets. Told you that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. Just give them some time. Don't forget to add salt, flavors, spices, whatever you like. So whatever you have, spice, salt,
as I told before, there can be like a little bit of lemon juice, maybe just even, actually in restaurants they really put borscht and there is a slice of lemon on it, so you can actually squeeze it in, or just for decoration, I don't know, because depending, some people do prefer it more sour, some people prefer it not sour, so it's already not exactly decoration, but it's already tasty. I hope it was enjoyable. Yeah, the next step will be the mixing all of these two together, so we'll just give it some time to stew properly and then add them together. So meanwhile my camera's battery died. While it's all cooking, I usually spend time cleaning around, because while stove is hot it's easier to clean it. I mean, it's not dried, it's just whoop, whoop, whoop. And I don't touch the other part, I just clean this part of the stove. Oh, alright, and now we are in our last stage. There is my big spoon. Yeah, it's all soft and juicy inside. It's all really saturated. Switch it off. And this part. As I told you, don't forget to get some salt. Yeah, use your own measurement, don't look at me. Yeah. And now we're gonna add, yeah, you can use a spoon and move it one by one. Look, the color is changing now. It's just one little spoon. Some people do like make this stew and then freeze it for the future usage. Maybe it's a good idea, never done it. Not going to. Okay, that's how I know. Yes! And that's what you usually get after cooking borscht. Everything is red. And that's a lot of cleaning around. Blink, blink. It all. Something went wrong. It's not exactly the color which I expected. Yeah, okay. Probably too much beetroot. It's gonna be okay. And to wrap it up, not a single pet, not a dog, not a cat has been eaten during cooking this soup. So all my products I buy in Walmart, if they don't sell dogs or cats, I do not cook them. So have a nice day, guys and girls. Subscribe to my channel, click the like button, and leave a comment if you need to or if you want to, and see you next time.